Guys, I don't know what to say. I'm very nervous about this film right now. Critics seem to hate it. At the same time, audiences seem to love it. I don't know. I'm just like, listen, I know Rotten Tomatoes is not the end-all be-all of movies. Alice in Wonderland made over $1 billion, got a low score on Rotten Tomatoes. Two of the Transformers movies each got over $1 billion. 18%, 38%. Rotten Tomatoes is not the end-all be-all for movies. It's not. Otherwise, Man of Steel would have gotten less money than it did. I'm sorry, I'm just I need to eat really quick. Now, I haven't seen the movie. For all I know, I could be on the side of the critics. But at the same time, seems like there's a lot more audience members that like this movie. I mean, the thing is, even if this movie makes a bunch of money, the critical reception that it's getting is going to reflect badly on the public. You know, usually you shouldn't care about what other people think. I try not to, but opinions when it comes to movies really reflect the future installments. You know, they're already set. Suicide Squad's done. They're set on that. Wonder Woman's in production. It's almost finished. Justice League is set to shoot. So no matter what, you know, as long as this film makes over $800,000, which it will make over $1 billion. I just hope that this movie silences the critics with the box office performance. Because there are other ways people can review the movie. You know, there are a lot of websites that predict this movie will fail. And a lot of people were right that this movie would get bad reception. But in terms of how much money it makes at the box office, that remains to be seen. Right now, there are currently over 40 viewers on Rotten Tomatoes, 40 critics with roughly 40% average critics liked it, and the other 60% seemed to hated it. So that gives it or take about 19, 20 critics that like it, and 21 about. So I don't know. I think like 25 critics that don't like it, and 20 that do. So that's only like a 5 disadvantage right there. So usually the threshold is like 100. If 100 critics, if like 60 of the critics didn't like it, only 40% did. That would be a red flag right there. Right now, it just only a certain amount of the like kind of more snobby critics are kind of give it. I mean, this film is made for the fans. Even the bad reviews. I want to make this clear. I looked at some of these reviews, these bad reviews. They still say to go see it. But how would people know? They don't read the reviews. They just will assume, oh, this guy gave it a bad review. I'm not seeing this now. No. And listen. I am not a DC fanboy by any means. I think the Marvel movies have done a better job outside when compared to the other movies that DC made that aren't Christopher Nolan and aren't Richard Donner and aren't Tim Burton. They've done an amazing job with that. I even like Green Lantern, but you know what? I would even go as far to say that Ant-Man blew Green Lantern away. And I had my problems with Ant-Man, but it was still a pretty solid film. It was good, not great. Now with this, I know Man of Steel got mixed reviews. Has like 56%. The problem with Rotten Tomatoes really is when a movie has 59% Rotten Tomatoes, people think it's bad. When it has 60%, people think it's good. I really think Rotten Tomatoes only has like a certain gray area. It just introduced certified fresh, but I don't even think that's enough, because you gotta have 40 plus reviewers get positive reviews, and it has to be over 73%, and then if it goes down like to 70, it's still a certified fresh. So I don't really. And the website's owned by Warner Brothers too, oddly enough. So I can respect Warner Brothers for not trying to change the rules to make it a little more even for them, but at the same time, this is not a good reflection. These reviews, I know the trailers. I get it. The trailers might have influenced a critic's opinion about it. The look of it, and maybe they spent so much time harping on the negative stuff. It's bad. But I get a feeling that there will be a good number of people that will like this movie, and they won't be. Overall, even the negative reviews say this is better than Man of Steel, which was a movie I liked, had problems, but I still liked it enough. The amazement of the amount of hate that movie gets. It just leaves me in total shock. Yeah, I can get disliking it. But the severity of the hate surprised me. I'm seeing this movie on Thursday. I hope that something changes when more reviewers come in, and it's like it's no longer in the 39-40% range. It's more like in the 59-60% range. That's fine. If this movie gets 60%, that's okay with me. I'm okay with that. Because if this stays in that area, if it gets lower than 30%, that's going to be bad. That's going to be really bad for Warner Brothers, bad for the future of the DC Extended Universe, and the people that hated Man of Steel win. They win. If you're a film critic, try not to focus so much on the bad stuff. Think of things that you thought were good and debate whether or not, in your head, if they outclass the bad. Now listen, I haven't seen this movie. Maybe I will be on the side of the critics, but this seems more like an audience movie. I'm not a critic. I try to be. I try to give a good review as a viewer, as a spectator. But yeah, I'm not. I don't have a fancy. I don't have a journalism degree. I'm just an average viewer. I did a series called Warner Wednesday last year. I defended Man of Steel, and I talked about some other Warner projects. I was planning on doing like a Mad Max anthology series of reviews. I don't know. We'll see. There's still 2 more days left of film criticism, and then the audience can also give their rating. If the audience on Rotten Tomatoes gives it like 100%, that will definitely make people see this movie. They'll know, like, okay, this is not like a highbrow style movie. This is not like Marvel, which aims for the more family-friendly demographic. This is a movie for a specific audience. And like I said, I could hate this movie. That is a possibility. I'm not denying that. That is a possibility. But it just seems really hard when so many people, like people who didn't like Man of Steel liked it. It would just baffle me if it stays this low. I didn't want to check Rotten Tomatoes, but I just had this feeling. I was really nervous. I had this feeling it was going to get a low score. And I was right. My instincts were right to look. If I didn't look, I probably wouldn't be making this video. I wouldn't be trying to tell people I really do think you should see this movie, because even the critics that didn't like it says to go see it. It's, but luckily I know, YouTube is an amazing place. Like right now, people just don't even care that much about review aggregator sites like Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes, they have like their own like person they go to watch movies, and they trust them. So if you have a person like that, if you don't have a person like that and you rely heavily on review aggregator sites, or even like one like journalist critic, or if you don't even agree with critics, don't let that reflect your judgment of this movie. This movie was made for fans by fans. Regardless of how you feel about Zack Snyder, I truly believe that there is a bit of sense that, they're going to rely on the criticisms targeted at him. I've never really gotten the hate for Zack Snyder, really. I kind of get it. Like he's not a good storyteller, but, people say like he's Michael Bay but darker. No. I've seen a Michael Bay film. I've seen Pain and Gain. I've seen Transformers. Zack Snyder's nothing like Michael Bay. Michael Bay, this is a paycheck to him. But Zack Snyder has a passion. And whether you agree or don't agree with his passion, he genuinely cares about these characters. So hopefully there are fans of the comics. Maybe these reviewers always liked Marvel, because that does seem to be the case. Like, Marvel may have a stronger demographic, like well before the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But man, this movie, I've had a cloud over my head about this movie, if it was good or not, I still think it's going to make a lot of money, so I'm not really worried about that. I am maybe a little bit. Just kind of depends on, people's opinions. But a lot of people are saying, are taking people's word for it, the audience side, not the critic side. This is a good movie. I think that's good. I think that's a good thing, but really just remember, a good movie depends on your taste of it. Now, look, I don't, sometimes there have been movies that got high, ratings that baffled me. Like, I was surprised that Cinderella got like 83%, but Maleficent got like a 49%. I think Maleficent was a much better movie than the Cinderella make. And, Alice in Wonderland, I'll admit it has its problems, but I liked it. It didn't get that low scored, and at 59%. Again, in the first Transformers, I will say it was decent. I won't say it was good, but it was decent. Like, enough I could watch it again. But, I haven't even bothered the other Transformers because, like the fact that Michael Bay gave, spoiler here, Optimus Prime or whatever Autobot was, gave him testicles. No, I'm not seeing that. That does, and I avoided Ted 2 because they recycled a lot of jokes from Family Guy. Oh man, I need to get this off my chest. I'm staying off Rotten Tomatoes for the next 2 days unless I hear it gets positive ratings. I'm still going to see this movie. I'm still excited for it. The fact that this is meant for audiences, critics are saying it's meant for audiences, whether it's positive or negative, that is a good sign for me that this movie was meant for people like me. So I can't wait. Thursday, IMAX 3D, Batman v Superman. I hope you deliver. I hope you make me think critics belong in a psychiatric ward, Arkham Asylum, whatever. Be good. I mean, like I said, I thought Man of Steel was pretty good. Had problems, but it was decent. Batman v Superman had problems, but the general answer is it's better than Man of Steel, and that's enough for me to go, all right, I will see this movie. Thank you.